If you're fed up with lame, uninspired talk radio, tune in to LA Talk Radio for irreverent, entertaining, and cool talk. You're listening to the Sheena Metal Experience with your host, Sheena Metal, only on LA Talk Radio.
It's the Sheena Metal Experience right here on LA Talk Radio. For more info on the show, latalkradio.com, SheenaMetalExperience.com. Don't forget to email me and let me know what you think of the show and to call and talk to us live, 818-602-4929. That's 818-602-4929. As promised, all this hour, my guest is the terrifically talented performer and singer Josie Cotton, still stuck in LA traffic of the Dam, but now we have her on the phone. Josie, thanks for being here. It's so great to have you.
Hi, Sheila. Oh, my God, I went to your old studio. I was there on time, and lo and behold, you had moved on.
Yeah, we moved here in September of last year, and I had been trying to send you the new address for our secret compound here now in the San Fernando Valley, and I'm sorry that you missed it. And you know, one of the good things about my show is that it's on at a good time for people to listen, but the bad thing about the Sheena Metal Experience is that it's hard to get to us sometimes in the middle of rush hour traffic.
It's a little bit the truth, but I tell you, I'm so impressed that you actually do live radio. That's amazing.
Oh, yeah.
And, it really, really is. No one hardly does that. I was under the impression we could kind of fudge with the recording, but gosh, you know, we're live. Hello.
Well, that's what's so good about being able to call in. Yeah, I'm live 14 hours a week on the air. When the microphone rules my life now. When someone asks me if I can do something, I have to ask the microphone if it's at a good time because my life is blocked out now live. Now most of the radio interviews that you do, and I'm sure you do very many, mostly now not live.
Not live, quite dead actually. But you know, I like semi-dead things, but actually, I was recently. My friend was listening to our old interview, and you are really one of the very best interviewers. And I'm not saying that to stroke you softly. I'm trying to really, really express that you are so. I don't know. We were just kind of simpatico in that last interview.
It was fun, yeah. And even now, with you, struggling hard to get here as you inch down the road, look at this fantastic interview. So I think that I try to think of fans and what they want to hear, whether they're my fans or yours, Josie. And I think that what fans want to hear is they want to hear two people hanging out, talking about interesting things, and it doesn't sound planned or contrived. So that's kind of what I try to go for.
Yeah, I always tell people I'm very superficial, but it goes really deep.
Right, exactly.
It goes so deep. And I would give you my new record if I could virtually imprint it over the phone, but I'm not quite there yet. In some future date, I will be able to send these CDs to you. You know what? As soon
as you get here, though, we're going to play the heck out of that. And in the meantime, I get to talk to you. So when I had you here the first time, you had just done your last CD, which was mostly a tribute to the music of the kind of female exploitation films of the 60s that you loved.
Yes, great songs from bad movies.
And that
the byline.
Is there anything better than combining the genres of great songs and bad movies, Josie? That's amazing.
Nothing. It's kind of like this, the theme from my whole life. It just just like this. It's kind of a really bad movie with great songs. I describe my life like that. But just trying to get people to hear them has been the challenging part. But that was a really fun record, and of course John Waters wrote the liner notes.
Love him.
Unbelievable, and periodically we email. I actually finally got to meet him in a bookstore that he was doing a signing, and at, and I had my picture taken, and I was actually really nervous and like a little kid. I was like, hi.
Yeah, you know what? I'm that way too. I used to go see him in college when he did his book tours, and he would speak and be really funny, and I was very much the same way. I felt like a little kid, looking at Santa Claus, like kind of a sleazy, naughty Santa Claus, because I just adore him, and
yes, he's very naughty Santa Claus. And he loves my new CD. I actually sent it to him, and he listened to it on his way to visit someone in prison. God bless him.
Was that the biggest compliment that you've ever gotten about someone listening to your CD?
Well, that they're on their way to prison. Well, yes. I imagine anything he says that is slightly complimentary is the best thing that could happen to you in your life.
No, I agree. That's fantastic. He's a wonderful guy, and I love his films. And he's definitely on my dream guest list. Someday I'll get him on the show because I think he's just amazing. And
no, I mean, even though he tried to sue me, I even through that, I was loving him. Through all the legal maneuverings, it was love.
And that is true love.
Yes, that is really love. So anyway, he picked out a song, and it's actually the title track of the record called "PUSSYCAT Babylon," which is kind of like an end of the world celebration of the coming ending, and exploring just the depravity of our culture, and in a really fun, upbeat way.
That's awesome. Now, when you came in last time to do the show, Josie, you were already working on and collecting and getting ready to record this new album. So you, I remember we talked a little bit about it, but what is kind of the theme of the album? And it's all originals this time, right?
It's all originals. It's it was something I wanted to do was do a more dancey record than I had done, and it's just actually more like my early records. And I kind of was doing this for my fans who were just ridiculously loyal through all my rambling exploration of the farther reaches of music, and where I shouldn't have gone, but I went there, and they stayed really loyal. So I thought I would do something that was more in how they remember me and whatnot, and even kids or whatnot who somehow know who I am. I don't know how or why, but I meet teenagers who know everything I've ever done, and it's always odd. But so this is it, and actually I'm on the dance charts right now with the first single. It's on the Billboard dance charts, and the top, we got to 44 was the last time I heard, and for me that was just kind of thrilling because it's been a while, Sheila, to have that happen. So that was, we're actually lost right now. We are in an alley. I'm looking.
You're probably almost there. It's like the Bat Cave. You do go down an alley to arrive.
A liquor store. And a liquor store?
You are in the right place. You are totally.
I see you in that liquor store, Sheila.
That's me with a bottle of Night Train. How did you know?
Put the bottle down. Put it down.
Hey, good liquor comes in a bag. What can I say? Yeah, you guys are almost here. How exciting is that?
Almost here. So I guess I'm gonna jump out while Andrea deals with parking.
That's fantastic.
Out at a liquor store. I don't know where I am.
You know what? Turn in the other direction and hop up the elevator, and you're going to be here in just seconds.
All right. Perfect.
I will
see you momentarily.
All right. We'll see you in a minute. Josie Cotton, everybody. She's the best, and I can't wait to have her in person soon. Her new album, as she's bringing it with her, we're going to play it, and we have to play the song that my favorite director of all time, that's John Waters, the song that he wanted to play, that he liked the most. And also we'll play the one that's on the dance charts, and we'll play whatever it is that we can play, because that's what we do here on the Sheena Metal Experience. Last time Josie was here, we were kind of promoting her last album. And as she said, it's she, like I, are a fan of underground film and of kind of exploitative film film that kind of lives on the fringe, on the edge. And many of those songs from those movies from the 60s, those female exploitation films, just hysterical. And the way that she recorded them all really made them so... it really grabbed the essence of that time period, because sometimes I think a lot of those films from that era were almost sort of spoofing themselves in a way. There was more than just low budget involved in what was going on there. And I love the fact that she caught the essence of that. And I just love the fact that she loves John Waters and that she totally gets what I get about him, because it's the same thing. It's not just about the nastiness in his films. It's about the writing is hysterical, and about the way that it kind of spoofs humanity, and I love that. So the fact that he's actually listened to this album that we're going to play today, to me, is fantastic. If you want to get the album that she talked about last time she was on the show, it's called Invasion of the B-Girls. So make sure to go and check that out, because it's just fantastic. And the new album we're going to play today, and as she walks into the studio today, and here she comes. This is the most live radio I've done. And as you run in, it's truly live. Everybody live in the studio now. Josie Cotton. Josie, welcome to the Sheena Metal Experience. It's so great to have you here.
Thank you, Sheena. It's so great. So great to be here.
Traffic, right, is evil.
It's really evil, and it's
all the soccer moms have to go get their kids the UGG boots and the hoodies.
Well, Christmas is also evil. It's the ultimate evil, actually.
So when you went to put this album together, were these songs that you had been writing for a while and that you decided that you finally had enough together to do an album, or did you know what the album was going to be before you started writing?
I knew that I wanted to be going in a very electronica kind of way. I wanted it to be not that many guitars and very keyboard heavy, and I knew that. And most of the songs I had not written, except for one that I had around forever. And so it was kind of like writing it while we were recording it, which was really, really fun, because it's
awesome.
You didn't know quite how the songs were going to turn out. One of the songs, I actually played, programmed it and played the keyboard, and everything is me on there. So that was really thrilling. I'd never done all the instruments in a recording. So that's
fantastic. Now, what do you write? Do you write on guitar?
I generally have written on the guitar, but due to my limited guitar playing skills, that sometimes I'll just write a melody, so I'm not limited by my skills. But I started writing on keyboard on this record.
Oh, awesome!
Yeah, and to beats and to bass lines and whatnot.
So is key something that you've been working on so that you could write more on it? Or is it just one of those things that you play but you've never really written that much on it?
It was actually the first musical thing I did was playing piano when I was a kid and stuff. So I just had never done it on stage, or it was always guitar for me. Girls always look so good playing the guitar. I just love the visual of that. So, I think it's just anything that can start you going in new directions, just get you out of your rut, and in playing in the same keys over and over again and whatnot, which musicians tend to do.
Right. You write for what's comfortable.
Yeah, and where your voice is comfortable and everything. So.
And are people amazed that you play everything? Because I think that era of music, when you first hit big, was so about girls kind of just being singers and bopping around, and the MTV videos, that maybe a lot of people don't know that you're, a hardcore musician and songwriter, and that you have an extreme amount of musicianship.
Well, thank you. I was always surprised how no one was really aware that I was a songwriter. That was my real goal when I came out here, and people assumed that there was no songwriting going on or any kind of musicality. So that was, and I think it was pretty sexist. At the time, it was strange. To feel that kind of prejudice against you because you're a female.
Right. And you're pretty. People assume when you're pretty that you want to be in front of the camera, and people assume if you're not pretty that you're a songwriter. And that's kind of a weird prejudice in our business, isn't it? That people think, or you're a music producer if you're not pretty. But everybody thinks that every pretty person in this town wants to be an actor or wants to front a band.
Yeah, I think it's very true, and I also co-produce this record as well. So I've become quite bossy in my old age. I just know so much more of what I want it to be. I have such a clear idea. I was quite insecure in the beginning. You go into a studio, you listen to other people around you, and I just learned I have to follow my own ears. I mean, I just have to do it, or I'm always kicking myself when I don't do that now.
Right. And do you, in the past, was some of your stuff more, because I hear this a lot from guests, more what a label envisioned or what a producer, a label hired envisioned, and not what you were envisioning for the song?
Well, no. I was working with the Payne Brothers, and it was always coming from their vision. The first record, that was... not that I was manufactured or something. Let's just say I had a very eclectic taste from multinational and genres, and I could sing so many different things. It was confusing for someone like me because I could have gone in a lot of different directions just from my what I liked, and so they kind of focused me into a sound, and that was fantastic. But the record company, they didn't know anything. They rarely know anything. So they
in general.
But
they knew nothing about that sound because that new wave sound was coming in, and they didn't know anything about it.
They didn't. There was just they had a couple of really young A&R guys, like a cat named Tommy Zutat, who is the young Turk in town, and he was in his 20s, and he knew that this was something that was coming along that could be something. But most of the guys in the business were like used car salesmen with a bunch of hookers.
Yeah. Well, they were from that old late 70s thing still, with like the prog rock music and the hey, you want to play my band's music? I'll bring you a pile of cocaine. I mean, they were still from that old FM.
Yes,
70s thing.
And if you don't do as I say, you'll never work again. The old boy school of you'll regret this, kind of a mentality.
Right. We'll make sure that no one ever lets you sing a note in this vicinity again because...
Exactly.
Right, because we discovered Steely Dan.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, I know that mentality.
Yes, I bet you do.
So let's play something off the album. What's charting right now? Let's play that first.
Well, I mean, the thing that's charting is actually it's one of the Johnny Are You Queer remixes. I got kind of
look at that.
I got corralled into doing finally the Johnny Are You Queer remixes. So I don't think the thing that's charting is actually on the CD because it's one of the 200 remixes we did. Right. But I can tell you that one of the singles is going to be PUSSYCAT Babylon.
Is that the one John Waters picked?
That's his favorite song.
Let's play that
on the
first
record.
then, in honor to him, because he brought us together, our love of him.
Yes. Oh, yes.
Even though I never sued him, but maybe now since you did, I should.
No, he sued me.
Oh, he sued you?
Yeah, that was the biggest
well,
honor.
maybe I could get him to sue me too.
I think I could arrange that.
Yeah. I'm going to wear a real tight dress and a bad wig and tell people I'm divine, and maybe he'll sue me.
You're redivine.
I'm right. I'm redivined. All right, everybody. This is Josie Cotton from the brand new album, and the album is also called PUSSYCAT Babylon.
It is. Uh-huh.
This is the title track, and it's my favorite director's favorite track, so I got to play it for John Waters. It's the Sheena Metal Experience, LA Talk Radio. Josie's with me all this hour. Let's check out some great music.
Pussycat
Metal Experience, LA Talk Radio. That's Josie Cotton, Pussycat Babylon, from her album Pussycat Babylon, that is just released and absolutely fantastic. Okay, I totally see why John Waters raved about it. I love it. It's got that 60s retro that's in a lot of your stuff. It's got a little bit of 80s retro, and it's also almost from the future.
Wow.
And when I listen to it, it reminds me of, it could be like a movie, the title track from a movie set in a futuristic maximum security women's prison. You know what I mean? I see women like beating each other and taking showers together. It's totally fantastic.
Oh my God.
But could you see like 60s go-go dancers in some weird Blade Runner type prison?
Yes. Oh
Yeah.
my God, you're giving me ideas, because this is one of the songs I'm going to do a video
Oh,
for.
you should. Yeah.
Absolutely. And like with an atom bomb going off,
Yeah.
and little cowgirls kind of like undulating against the bomb. Orange sky.
Because it's America. If we're going to have a bomb go off, there should be a show that goes with it.
And there will, a reality show to the very end.
Do you kind of feel like, because your music is very almost multi-timed and timeless, do you sort of feel like you live in a bunch of different time periods at once?
I feel like that, and that I'm a very various people, multiple people.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So, and that sounds, it was kind of meant it as a kind of a joke, but it's actually true, that I go into different personas, and they probably were going to have me committed any second now, but yeah, I think you have to take different approaches to songs. I mean, I have gotten to the point where they're all like stories to me. They're all every song is a story, and there's a beginning, middle, and end, and I take every person in the song as a character.
Yeah.
It's never about, even though if it's personal, it's still, I look at it as third person. So I'm always outside of myself, trying to look back in. And
right.
So.
Well, and very much so with Attack of the Beat Girls, because that was a concept album. You could see, and also from the album art, but you could see you in like a little, each one was a little mini movie.
Yeah.
And this song very much is too. So it's almost like when you write, are you kind of half you, and then the other half is sort of the character that's writing their story for the song?
That's a really great description. It's kind of out of body, and it's a story that I'm in, but I'm also writing it. And and so it does feel surreal, and I like that feeling.
And don't you think that kind of that you were even a little before your time in the 80s with it, because the visual imagery of imagining a full-scale multimedia thing that goes with something. When you see a movie, you want to imagine the music. When you hear a song, you imagine the movie. I mean, that's something that's very, with the internet now, everybody does that now. I mean, kids grow up on that now.
Yeah, well, it's always interesting to me if you hear a song before you see the visual. I mean, some songs can survive, but some are enriched by the visuals. Like the cover that Johnny Cash did, "Hurt," the incredible. And I'm so glad I didn't hear the song by itself before I saw the video with it.
I agree.
Because it was so epic. I mean, this was this guy's goodbye to the world. And it was his life, and it was so powerful. It made the song more. If I just heard the song, I'd been, yeah, that's nice. It's a nice cover, Johnny. But the fact that they had done that kind of video, it was just, oh my God.
And the video was like the definition of melancholia.
Oh.
I mean, even the table looked like it hurt.
It
did. Everything was sad in that video.
It was, and so poignant, and but not sad in a corny way. It was real.
Yeah,
it was
really sad.
Raw.
Yeah.
You're near the end, and you could feel it. It was so obvious he was going out soon. So not to bring the whole show down.
I'm Irish. Sometimes I go down, I don't go back up. So you got to watch.
I'll get that bottle for you.
You got to watch how far you bring me down. So let's play something else, because I want to make sure to get some of the album in, because it's so fantastic.
Yeah, well, we were talking about the one that I did all the instruments on.
Yeah.
Stop Iggy Pop.
Let's do it. Okay, this is Stop Iggy Pop. This is from Josie Cotton's brand new album, Pussycat Babylon. Let's check out some great music. It's the Sheena Metal Experience on LA Talk Radio. Oh, and that's how you know it's live. Here we go.
vivisect you. Welcome to the human race. Now, look around, the beauty and the violence. Make a scene, interrupt the silence. No way to stop it, you just have to rock it. Stop, beep, beep, pop. Stop, beep, beep, pop. Look around, stop, beep, beep, pop. I don't care anymore. Stop. Stop. Stop, beep, beep, up. Stop, beep, beep, up. Stop. You invented techno.
It's the Sheena Metal Experience, LA Talk Radio. That's Josie Cotton, Stop Iggy Pop, from her new album, Pussycat Babylon. And Josie, it happened again. The movie in my head, in this one, you're a sexy cyborg assassin sent to kill Iggy Pop.
Oh my God!
I mean, seriously.
No, that is.
And it's this whole like rock and roll world where you find out like David Bowie's an alien and Mick Jagger's a robot, and it has kind of this whole cool.
You were so close to actually how I was writing that song. It was actually had to do with kind of a man who fell to earth, alien who comes in, and he's hiding out in a disco, and his only friend is this German girl, and she's protecting him from these agents, and it's I mean, the video I want to do for it would just be ridiculous, but I love the cyborg thing. I have to.
What if in the future we found out that all of our greatest rock stars were actually manufactured cyborgs that the music industry had created? And then somebody has decided to kill them all off and to start a movement for organic musicians to live again.
Oh, yes.
Just, you see, they just, it's just fun.
I just have to come here and to steal your ideas.
You can steal them all. I think that's so cool that you write a song that invokes so much visual imagery without even needing a video.
Well, that's really sweet. I don't intentionally do that, but I do love playing these characters, and who are up to any possible reality, and not necessarily my reality. I feel like I am kind of channeling sometimes.
But don't you think that's part of the creative process? Is the channeling process?
Well, hopefully, I mean, one thing I've tried to veer away from was maudlin corniness, and I find it so offensive. And to me, I just want to shoot myself in the head.
Right? Are you talking about those girls that sing like they're in the ICU?
Yes.
And it's their last day of life.
Yes.
I always say they should all call their album like either My Final Album or Music from the ICU, and they kind of sing like.
Right, exactly.
Like it's the last little bit of oxygen to squeeze out of their diseased lungs before they pass on. I don't want to hear that.
No, that is so well said.
That terrifies me.
It is, and it is always about their feelings. Their feelings are. It's like anyone cares about their feelings.
Their feelings are all fake anyhow.
And they're
fake. They're not real feelings. They're like, I'm upset because I wore my blue shirt today. It makes me sad to watch these girls sing. It's like watching a cat starve to death in front of your eyes. I don't want to see that.
No, and then it also translated over to the boys that the emo boys. Believe me, I loved Elliott Smith, and he to me he was like a god walking among us. But after that, there were so many imitations of him, and they're just all about their feelings, and they're so
and it's
upset.
the same thing, What I loved about you is you left, and then I love that you make me feel pain because I'm bored and rich and white, and my parents didn't give me a BMW. I mean, wow. I heard for these boys. It's like it's supposed to be this big emotional music, but nothing's happening. I'm
know.
upset because, you gave me the wrong color underpants for Christmas. There's to me, if you're going to write a song where you sound like you're dying, then again, I'm Irish. I want to see gut wrenching. I want to really hear that you're dying.
That you're really dying.
Yeah.
It's really true. And I think sometimes they're upset because they're not upset enough. They
don't know what to be upset about because nothing's really happened to them. So they just kind of think about, well, the time I was really upset was, when I went to McDonald's, they were out of filet of fish. So I'm going to write a 10-song album, and I'm going to evoke the feelings of the lost filet of fish.
Lost fish.
And that's kind of how it comes out.
The last lost fish.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that's why when you compare that to, sometimes country music where people come from very humble backgrounds, or you compare it to hip hop where people are coming from an urban,
they have a story.
They've got a story. They know what they're angry about.
I know, and I totally agree. So there's that. But then on the other side of that, swinging the pendulum, is that I also sometimes music it seems so mindless. There just seems to be nothing going on, and that kind of I just have a peculiar way of looking at music. It can't, it can have feeling and it can have mindlessness, but just too much of anything is just it's just an odd thing. I mean, I'm talking about all this anti-emotion thing, but the next song I'm going to have you play is actually, it was like the first real love song I ever wrote, and so I'm just a complete hypocrite in everything I just said. But
what's it called?
It's called "See the New Hong Kong."
Okay,
it's the next single.
All right, fantastic. We're gonna do this, and then kick this out. This is Josie Cotton from her new album, "PUSSYCAT Babylon." See the New Hong Kong. It's the Sheena Metal Experience, LA Talk Radio. And even though it may be sad, I'd be willing to bet you don't sound like you're dying of a respiratory illness when you sing.
Hopefully.
Let's take a break for some great music. We'll be right back.
I wake up with the TV on. Fly away, see the new Hong Kong. Asian girl just slightly out of focus. I don't notice that, I notice there's a movie in my head, projecting from my bed, drowning out the splashing sounds of summer. And I lost the seventh wonder. He only knew the words, he never knew the song. Turn up phrase to turn out wrong. He only knew the words, he never knew the song. He never knew the song. I should go to the hardware store, to the things that I did before. Seems like things are always getting broken, and time keeps getting frozen. It was something that you said, and the way that you turned your head, you were like a drug, my heart was pounding. A poem by Charles Bukowski. You only knew the words, you never knew the song. Turn up phrase to turn out wrong. You only knew the words, you never knew the song. You never knew the song. I know
Sheena Metal Experience on LA Talk Radio. See the New Hong Kong. That's from the album Pussycat Babylon by Josie Cotton, and Josie's been with me all this hour. Josie, that is an absolutely beautiful song.
Thank you so much.
I love that.
I stole that title from a book about sociopaths that I was reading because I was in another lawsuit with one, and there was a part of the book where it described a sociopath. It was written by a therapist, and she said he was like someone who knew the words, but he never knew the song. And I went, I'm stealing that.
That's awesome.
And so it's
awesome.
It's kind
it's
of
a beautiful song.
It's a kind of a sociopathic, thing. It's very. I have not written autobiographically before, but this one really was. This was literally just about everything is literally true in this.
Wow.
Yeah.
It's beautiful. I think we've all known that person.
Yes.
In this town.
And they're usually bipolar.
Okay, the video that I got from this
Okay.
was a gay bar setting, and there's a crazy drag queen who's a psycho that goes out in the alley and murders people.
Oh, my God.
And you're performing in the gay bar. Because to me, it has that sort of like cool, when gay bar music first started, it was awesome. Like that late 80s, early 90s, Pet Shop Boys, and all those fantastic artists. And that's what it reminded me of, like flashing lights and all different kinds of crazy characters dancing. And
and a serial killer.
And a serial killing drag queen. Yeah.
Wow. You're good.
Yeah, or maybe it's a woman who dresses up like a drag queen to be able to get into places and not be noticed. Well, they're all looking for a drag queen.
I think you're in the wrong profession. Oh my God!
I'm in many professions, but I tell you, your songs they fly out at you. Well, stories. Probably somebody else would listen and get a totally different story for each one of those.
Yeah, well,
but that's a high compliment from me.
Well, thank you. I really, really appreciate it. I will take all the compliments I can get.
Yeah, I think that when you write music that people feel stories with. And listening to something the first time, and that's fantastic.
Well, I mean, the thing that I guess I'm proud about this song is it's written kind of third person. I'm not explaining anything about what happened. It's
right. You don't sound angry or bitter. It's not. Alanis Morissette's Jagged Little Pill. It's just telling a story.
I'm describing a person.
Yeah.
And without emoting terribly, too terribly much.
Well, and that happens to all of us. All of us, I think, at one time in our lives have fallen in love with, whether romantically or platonically, with somebody who was amazing and we thought was fantastic, but something was wrong with them and we had to get them out of our lives.
Yeah. And that's hard. And most of the time I have prolonged the agony and have not gotten them out of my life. So in this instance, I actually was smart and I nipped the cord.
You're the best. Will you come and see me again? I would love that. And we'll play some more tracks off the album.
Okay, right.
And talk more about exploitative film.
Yes.
Josie Cotton, everybody, the album is Pussycat Babylon. Go and get it. It's absolutely fantastic, even from what little I have heard today. I can't wait to go home and listen to the whole thing. And what's a great place to find you online?
JosieCotton.com is good, yes.
Okay, fantastic. And if you missed any of the links, then just hit me up at SheenaMetalExperience.com or LATalkRadio.com, and I will gladly forward those links to you. It's the Sheena Metal Experience on LA Talk Radio. Quick break, and then we're right back with you with much more radio fun.